So if you're an HVAC company doing $1 to $3 million a year, listen up. This is for you. This is what we call the swamp. This is you are stuck doing $1 to $3 million a year and you can't get out of it and you don't know how to get out of it. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Tim Euler with 30 Massive Ventures. I'm the owner. We built a private equity accelerated program for HVAC companies. We have over $60 million a year now in our HVAC portfolio that we're helping companies scale and exit. So anyway, I'm making this video now for you guys that are stuck at $1 to $3 million. So how do you get out of this like swamp of $1 to $3 million? You don't know what to do. You're stressed out. The business is driving you crazy. I'm going to explain some very simple frameworks on how to think through this as a business owner to scale. So regardless of what anyone says, you are in, whether you want to be or not, the marketing and sales game. You need more leads and you got to close the deals. The only way to scale a company that I know of is to get more leads and to get more money from the leads you get. And number one, a lot of people don't know how to get leads and they don't know how to get more money from them. It's one of the reasons you're stuck at $1 to $3 million. So number one is like you've got to be very, very good at marketing or partner with somebody that is. It's imperative. And you've got to know the process. As an owner, you've got to understand how Google works, how Google My Business works, how to drive leads. It doesn't take that long to become an expert in those topics. At least have a good broad understanding of the flow of how it all works. And a lot of owners are like, I have no clue how it works. Well, I'm like, you should understand it. You could take 10 hours and study on a weekend and figure out, hey, this is how Google works. Google My Business profile, best practices. How to drive Google leads. What does it take to drive Google leads? All the companies that are doing 10, 20, 30, 50 million HVAC, I want to understand how they leverage Google. And there's a lot of information out there about that. So number one, you've got to understand how to leverage Google, drive leads through that, drive leads through that, and figure out how to drive leads. Once you can drive lead flow in, it's really a game of sales at that point and getting membership clubs under management. So you've got to look at it like the best HVAC companies. If you look at Leland Smith of Service Champions, right? Like 80% of their revenue comes from their membership clubs. So you drive the lead in, you convert them either to number one, a service ticket, a membership club, a member, or you actually do a full install. Regardless, they're all under your membership club model. Because those people are eventually going to buy from you because they know, like, and trust you. And you're not going to be competing with multiple bids of all these people that are calling around to all the HVAC companies saying, what's the cheapest unit? Your average ticket on a full install is anywhere around $10,000 to $11,000, $12,000. You are in a death spiral because you cannot make enough profit to hire a team, right, to afford marketing, to have good trucks, to hire the people at your office to have a good service to your clients, right? To get good reviews, all the stuff that you need to charge higher prices so you can run a better company, so you can provide better service to everyone that you're doing work for. And I see all these people and all these companies that are struggling now because they have a low price. If you're selling a unit for anywhere between $9,000 and $12,000, there's no way you're going to average over a 10% margin. So that means you have no capital, you have no cash, you're struggling now with your employees, your training systems, you're struggling, you have bad trucks probably, you're struggling getting good reviews, you're struggling getting lead flow, you're struggling to hire talent, you're struggling retaining talent. All that stuff is why you need profit, so you can build an engine to get happy customers, to give you good reviews and get good service, and you can get more leads and you can get more revenue. And it's just a cycle as you go through this. But I see a lot of companies stuck from 1 to 3 million and they have bad staff. They don't know their sales team. They don't know, why did Tommy the technician go to this house today and not close? They're not recording their calls at the house. They don't know why they're not handling objections from the clients properly. They're not presenting option sheet properly. They're not presenting payment plans properly at the house. All of this stuff attributes to more leads in the door and sell more leads. And you have to do both to scale the company. I know that sounds simple, but really when you're operating from $1 to $3 million, you could have one good comfort advisor that's doing $1 to $3 million in sales. I mean, our team is trained a $4.5 million comfort advisor up. Aaron Phillips is one of our team members. He has worked with private equity firms. He has scaled multiple sales teams. He works with us now, and he has trained up guys doing $4 million a year. And you're doing 1.5 or 2 million. But one guy is bringing home 2 times your revenue. One single guy. And I've seen it. I've seen $8 million comfort advisors. So the real key is you've got to have more leads. You got to be able to sell. And you've got to create a sales culture that holds these guys accountable to, number one, getting reviews at the house. You've got to have reviews coming in to Google My Business Profile to actually get leads for Google to show your ads. If you don't have that, you're dead. You have no leads from Google, and Google is going to produce 70% of your lead flow. Right? They've got to go to the house in a sales model. They got to understand that, hey, we've got to run a sales process that's repeatable, and you're recording their calls so you know exactly why they're going to the house and don't sell. They're not handling objections properly. They're not asking for the sale. Technicians and comfort advisors are not even asking for the sale. They'll ask for the sale one time and leave the house. That doesn't work because they're going to call, the homeowner's going to pick up the phone and call someone else to come give them another bid. You've got to stop that. Your company has to have a good enough sales process, and you got to be able recording their calls. You got to understand why the companies are asking to get more bids, asking for cheaper prices. All of that stuff has to be overcome with objections, and you have to do objection handling, role playing, and have a sales culture that can sell so that you can afford leads. If you can afford leads and you can sell, and your guys are closing at a 50% clip, you can beat most HVAC companies, right? So it's like, if you can get the leads and sell, then you can actually afford leads. And that's the problem, is most people come to us, they say, what is your marketing budget? Oh, I've got $1,000 marketing budget. I'm like, well, good luck. You're going to be stuck at 1.5 million for a long time, or 2 million for a long time, until you learn how to look at your leads and how much revenue they're driving you, and push that back to a KPI dashboard that shows leads coming in, $1,000 spent on Google, we got back $12,000. Why would you not go to Google and spend $2,000? $4,000. That's how you scale a company. But a lot of times the lead comes in, you're not booking the call, you're missing the call, you're not answering the phone, right? Then it goes to the comfort advisor. He's not running a sales process. He's not handling objections properly. And I just see this trap of companies just stuck at 1.5 million, 2 million. They've grown like from 1.5 to 1.6 the next year to 1.7. You were then stuck in a what I call a high-paying, stressful job, because you've got a company that you can't sell because you're not running enough profit to sell the company, right? You have to be running at least $750,000 to $1 million in EBITDA or profit, EBITDA or net profit, to sell your company. If you're running $1 million company in profit, so that would be you'd probably be able to get a 7x EBITDA on an exit. So that means $1 million in EBITDA would get you $7. How can you ever out-earn $7 million exit as an HVAC owner? I don't know how you can't. Physically, the money you put in your bank account from the company is never going to probably equal that amount of money, right? So it's like you can never out-earn an exit. So you've got to optimize your business for an exit, but you can't optimize your business for an exit unless you have leads and you're converting those leads. So I see this trap of this $1 million. And that's the biggest problem, is like, you were just in the leads and sales game to scale up to 5 million, 6 million. Because if you can run a company at $6 million at a 20% margin, you're at $1.2 million a year, you can exit out of that for about 6 to 7x multiple. That means you have a valuation on the company at $7 million. And let's say you take $5 million off let's say you take $5 million off the table and you roll $2 million into the next transaction. You can then sell your company again for usually triple the rolled amount. So you took $5 million, you rolled $2 million forward, you triple the rolled amount. That means you get a net of $10 million off of your company for growing the EBIT at $1 million. That's how, but you can't do that unless you got leads and sales. So that's how powerful, that's how important leads and selling is. And I see breakdowns across multiple companies we talk to in these two areas. So anyway, I hope that helps. That's how, you really got to optimize your business to get to $1 million in profit. That's really where you're going to make money. And honestly, if you've got lead flow and you can sell, you can get there fast. You can scale very, very fast with an average ticket of $15,000. But you can't be the cheapest company on the block and think you're going to actually be able to build a company that you can hire great people, that you can sell your company for multi-millions of dollars, because you don't have the profit margin to afford marketing and to provide and to hire good comfort advisors and techs, because you're simply not charging the average ticket. And the way to get your average ticket up is you got to bundle your services together, right? You got to have a good, better, best, and bundle your services together where you can have a $12,000 package, a $15,000 package, a $19,000 package. Offer those on payment plans, and your average ticket with a good sales process will go very, very high. So I hope that helps.